Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital, is regarded as one of the fastest growing cities in the world. With a population of approximately 3.46 million persons, according to Nigeria's 2011 census, Abuja's population has grown geometrically by almost 400% within the last 20 years. With the growth in population comes an increased pressure on available infrastructural facilities, which has led citizens to scramble for land and accommodation, thus making Abuja one of the most expensive cities to live in Africa. This scramble for land and accommodation has come at a high price among the city's residents, as land racketeering has now become all too common. Many say this has been possible through the connivance of Abuja's elites and high-ranking city officials. This investigation, carried out over several months, exposes the complicity of city officials to this multi-billion-dollar fraud, while those supposed to maintain law and order turn a blind eye. While several investigations had met a brick wall, as many residents affected are usually too afraid to speak out, we finally got a breakthrough at the Gogolada area of Abuja, where it was observed that access roads were being sold by city officials in total disregard to the area's master plan. An original land master plan obtained in the course of our investigation showed the areas demarcated for residential accommodation in this land layout. Extrapolating it with images from Google Maps reveals notable areas now sold to private developers.
I was one of the first settlers here. This is Gwagwalada expansion layout. I acquired a plot here in 1999, and there was a master plan. The master plan allowed us access to the main road leading to the University Teaching Hospital. And we shared boundary with the Gifted School and Christ Academy.
They will say later nobody is coming to say anything. And this place is choked. Sometimes going out is always a problem because the master's plan has been tampered with. And if you can see our surrounding here, we've been battling with this one too because they are almost blocking this one. Because every day they will come dig the foundation, they will go and cover it up. And I think it's better maybe after this interview, you go there and see for yourself. You see what we've been doing there. You see the foundation they've dug, and you see the way we all agreed and try and block that place there.
I have been in Gwagwalada since 2009, and then that was my diploma days, and I was staying back of Union Bank now. Then there was an access road you can pass through Adonai, but now the access road have been blocked, and the back of the Agric House, the Mountain of Fire, there was access road you can access to the P Club then, and it had been blocked.
We paid a visit to the affected area to see for ourselves the level of disregard being done to the master plan, with evidence the initial warning had been given those complicit to stop work. If you look at the wall behind me, you see a quits sign here, which is a stop work sign placed by FCDA/DC, which is the Federal Capital Development Authority and the Department of Development Control. But if you come back here, you have a look at the date. You see it was placed on the 15th of December 2014. Now from 2014 till date is almost 8 years, or is about 8 years, yet nothing has been done by those who placed this sign to ensure that work actually stops at this portion. Now, another thing we observed is if you come, you look at the road behind me, you observe that as the road progresses towards that direction, it widens, but as it comes down to this portion, it narrows, which is clear that the size of this road is not the actual width of the road on the original master plan. Now, but the big question we are asking and we are going to be finding out is who has been responsible for selling this portion of the road to private developers and causing untold hardship to the residents of this layout. From our map, extrapolating it with different timelines, we identified the time construction was actually carried out on those public access roads. The spots on the map which indicated a breach to the master plan also presented a confirmation on ground. We discovered that the building on Spot B appeared between 2005 and 2009. Underground, we see that the road has almost been completely taken over, save for a narrow footpath between the fences. There was also a stop work order given which was largely ignored. For Spot A on our map, by 2017 structures were not in place, but they appeared in 2021, which means the development of the land started after 2017. The location on ground confirms this as the stop work order was put up in 2018. Here at this exact spot, the access roads were totally blocked, not even a footpath allowed. On this portion of the road, if you look at this fence, which is covering a portion of the land that has been sold, it is clearly written, blockage of access road. This means that this used to be an access road for the residents within this community. Thereby, they can no longer follow this road to the main road, but have to follow another longer route out to the main road. But also, if you also come to this portion, you see on this gate, it is clearly written also, blockage, remove on road. That means this gate is also the gate to an enclosure of the part of a part of the access road which has also been sold. It was dated on the 14th of September 2020. But construction on this piece of land has continued without any sanction from the Development Control or from the Federal Capital Development Authority. We also visited Spot C on the map. Here, part of the access roads were being sold, thus reducing the width of the road. At this point, you can see this fence. This fence is meant to be the demarcation of the road. From this point to the end of the road, we've taken a measurement. It's about 21 meters in length. From the fence that runs directly to the end of the other fence, you see a gate here. It shows that that is meant to be the demarcation for this public road. But you see, because the land has been sold, you see this stretch here, it was not in the original master plan. And because the land has been sold, from this point now to the end of the road, it has been reduced to about 12 meters. Some of the residents say this action has caused untold hardship for them, as they find it extremely difficult accessing and exiting their residential apartments, especially during the rainy season.
I wish you could come here during the rainy season and see for yourself. The roads are, of course, the roads are not graded, you know that. And the roads are muddy and mushy. And coming in here, we repair our cars almost on a weekly basis because of the bad roads. But that's the truth.
Sometimes we park our cars just for us to have access to the main road, and if you are lucky, you're able to get out of the place before it rains. You're coming back, and if it rains, you might end up leaving your car somewhere and trek home until maybe the sun happens to just come out and hit the floor, let it dry a little.
The big question is, despite the stop work order, was anything done by the regulating authorities to take possession of the roads? We laid our hands on several letters which were sent by the residents to officials responsible, though acknowledged nothing was done. These letters, which were sent by the Residents Association on September the 30th to the Department of Development Control and the Divisional Police Officer asking to help stop construction work on the public roads, were acknowledged but nothing was done. 2 months later, another letter was sent on November the 3rd to the FCT minister, yet nothing was done. In 2016, 2 years after the first letters were sent, another batch of letters were sent to the minister and others, and this time to Nigeria's anti-corruption agency, yet nothing was still done. In 2018, another letter was sent again to the Minister for Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory. Nothing again was done. We then took time to visit the office of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, but were directed to the Department of Planning. We were again directed to the Department of Development Control, one of the agencies that had been receiving letters of the alleged breach of the master plan by corrupt officials, and is responsible for reclaiming the roads from those that had taken possession. After several weeks of back and forth, an official of the department, Oyewale, in charge of the Gwagwalada area, agreed to speak to us, but only via phone.
I know much about that file. Even there was a time they carried the matter to the ICPC and we reported there. So all the report of what we did, I've told them the last minute the director did was to raise memo for approval to be granted by PAMSEC. I think the thing stopped that time. So that was what happened. The effort we have made so far is even enough for you to say that at least it's not that we didn't attend to their case.
Okay,
but
sir.
It's all this logistic issue. Now, I told the officer that is there to update the memo. So for director, he has minuted it that the memo should come to be sent to PAMSEC for his approval.
One anti-corruption advocate, Ezenwa Nwagu, revealed that for this kind of racketeering, our visit to the Department of Development Control will not yield any results.
You have an organized land swindler syndicate. That's what I would like to call them. Now, these other people, these crime syndicates, are the ones who falsify documents, land documents, sell them to unsuspecting public, sometimes even with alleged active collaboration of insider people within the Federal Capital Development Authority.
He says he's convinced many government officials are part of the syndicate.
If you probe FCDA today, there are people who are posturing all over the place that will be in jail.
We visited the Nigeria Institute of Town Planners to get their view of the situation.
Very painful. Very painful. If only the citizens would understand that it's for their own good that we prepare these plans, they will do everything to protect it and follow the guidelines as they go about their development. It is a lack of understanding that push citizens to go about developing whatever plots of land they have acquired without seeking building plan approval.
In January 2021, we requested to meet with Nigeria's Independent Corrupt Practices Commission to furnish us with the details on efforts done to bring the complicit officials engaged in this particular fraud to book. It's well over 11 months. We are yet to get any feedback on our letter. With relevant government agencies confirmed to have turned a blind eye to the sale of public lands for personal profit, it is clear that this multi-billion-dollar industry will continue to thrive in Nigeria's federal capital until something is done to stop it. From Abuja, Amadin Uyi, News Central Television.